let's get ready to hop right back into it, shall we? And I was actually playing a Coglin. This is the first time I've played offline in a long time, but I wanted to test out. Don't think it was a good test because I ended up getting just crazy good luck the entire time, but hopefully we can recapture some of that magic here today, because I think, yeah, we'll be going back in with Coglin once again here. And then I did do a gladiator longsword start, but I'm curious about what we feel like running today. In fact, we could start off with a bit of chaos to spice things up, give us a bit of a break from the usual routine here. So that means Zom might be the go-to here today. Let's try it out. We'll see how it goes. If everything falls apart right away, hey, we can always switch off to one of our other options as we go. But eventually we need this this win with Zom. So why not today? And you know, I was doing a little bit of thinking going into today's stream just as I was booting up. Didn't have any, you know, anything clever come to mind. Of course, nothing to that extent. Sorry, as I accidentally open up a bunch of random stuff on my end. Fortunately, none of that gets to stream, but let's close these before I inundate you all with all kinds of Slack pings. Oh, I did accidentally select though, which ruins my plan. Well, we'll make do, shall we? Because, again, I was trying to come up with a name. I'm very easily distracted today, and rather than being clever at all, because I'm not all that with it here today, I decided instead, let's do the old classic, where we come up with a very basic premise, an easy joke name, and then you just have to fantasyify it a little bit, by which I mean a Coglin stabber. So we're thinking tech, we're thinking stabbing. I'm thinking putting a fork in an outlet seems pretty apt for our Coglin here today. So let's go with O. Taking some French inspiration here. There we go. Could not remember the life of me. But outlet. And this is where I'd want to do a space, but it's not going to work for us. Outlet fork. Fantastic. Again, I probably spent way too much time on that bit already, but very, very critical, very important. And with that, we're pretty much ready to hop into this run. We'll, of course, do all of our usual starting routines. Don't need stones, don't need talismans here today. And last but not least, let's get that morgue file. Grab the seed just in case any of you lovely folks are playing along at home today and want to see how you fare in, again, what we've already decided is going to be the luckiest dungeon we've ever seen. How could it possibly go wrong? With that, let's jump in. We do have a chaos dungeon to start out, so hopefully we don't accidentally haste something in any kind of dangerous capacity. Dagger of Protection right off the bat is pretty fantastic. We'll throw that into our offhand. That will give us some very good defenses early on here. At least I think so. I'm not 100% how the Protection brand will work in offhand, but it did seem to proc on the adder there. Or the ball python, sorry. So hopefully that's a good indication as to what we have to look forward to here. Decent defenses, even with that just in our offhand. I mean, an early null could have been a bit of a problem spot for us, but fortunately, we're just going to blast through these. Again, I can't imagine that the start of our run is going to be too much of a problem. In fact, I believe that Coglin might actually be a pretty solid match for Ignis in these runs, because they have a really strong start here. Generally, we just mop up all the early dungeon without too much problem. And so we could try to convert that into something pretty strong, but we shall see. Zom, of course, also fantastic, also lovely. I'm sure that we'll see nothing but great things coming from our Lord and Savior here today. Never a doubt in my mind. But, you know, I talked a big game about this Protection brand. Dagger of Electrocution, also very solid, especially early on in the dungeon. So you know what? I think we will put this on. I could actually switch out the Falchion of Chaos. It's an interesting idea, but I don't think we'll run that here today. Let's see, against Terrence. I mean, Terrence has definitely caused us some issues before. Can you follow me, Terrence? I'd like to bring you upstairs. And then I'm gonna attack you. The free hit should be a pretty decent start to this encounter. Fantastic. We will also pick this up. We have a +2 leather armor. How does that compare? AC would go up a little bit. Honestly, our evasion doesn't even get sacrificed that much either, so I think I will take that trade. Even with a Dex character, I think early on, there's something to be said for just picking up the heaviest armor you can slap on. Pretty much will nullify all these early game enemies, and then we can worry about min-maxing our dodging and whatnot as we get a little bit deeper into the run. I mean, fingers crossed that we won't even have to worry about that. You know, if we can just find ourselves some wonderful artifact armor, then it won't really matter what kind of plans and illusions we put together, and instead we'll just play the hand we're dealt, as it were. There we go. We finally do find the stairway back up. Let's finish off our D2 before we get too hasty with exploring the unknown here. And that is fantastic. Oh, thanks, What I really needed here was a reveal of the entire floor. Love to see it. Zom's teddy bear? Never have I received such a title before. I will treasure it till my dying day. But make sure we take out whatever happened to that goblin. I probably should have read the log there, because I'm sure Zom did something interesting, intriguing, and all of the above, but let's not worry about it too much for now. Okay, 37 gold pieces is a decent little haul, so thank you, Zom. I do appreciate you and everything you do for us here in the dungeon. But fantastic. Otherwise, let's just keep going. Again, if we haste or might something, or if we turn something invisible that we're not ready to face, then I will certainly regret keeping around the Chaos brand here. But for the most part, it actually will oftentimes work out nicely. I don't have many great options, so I think I have to just go for a punch duel with you, my friend, unfortunately. Never even close, of course. We had it the whole time. You just have to believe. Not a shred of doubt in my mind, and that of course brings us sweet victory every single time without fail. Never have we run into any problems with the application of pure willpower. But not too shabby, all things considered. Get through the first few floors of the dungeon. It's funny because in general, you know, I talk a big game about Coglins. I do feel like they're pretty dang solid in the early game here. But Zom does kind of throw that out the window. You never know what kind of early dungeon you're going to get. I mean, they've been generous thus far here, giving us some friends to hang out with and the like. Hey Roga, how's it going? Hope things have been well on your end. How's the DCSS cosplay going these days? I think I saw something about you running another one of the tournaments. So I hope all is well on that front. Oof. Bit of confusion. Hopefully not the end of the world, and it is indeed just fine. I mean, a +1 dagger protection. Slightly better. Don't know if we'll actually end up using it here, because again, I kind of am enjoying the additional damage that the electric brand is throwing onto us. Thank you for the scroll of unknown usefulness, Zom. I will treasure it till my dying day. And tons of gold. Ooh, mighted and hasted. Yikes. Hit of 9 shouldn't be the end of the world. Hey Eric, how have things been on your end? Always fantastic to see you. But cosplay tournament's going well. Currently setting up the sudden death tournament using Ebering script from 5 years ago. Oh, interesting. Is that like one try only for the cosplay run or something to that extent? Or what does the sudden death entail? Does sound interesting. And making me wish that I had all the time in the world to do a bit of fooling around in DCSS, because I feel like I do very little of that these days. I mean, besides, of course, these Sunday streams, I think it's fair to say that I do a little bit more fooling around than anything even borderline, you know, playing intelligently or anything crazy like that, so... Oh, a bit of teleportation. You know what, thank you, Zom. I appreciate you and everything you bring for us. Ooh, and you know what, I think I will let the Swamp Drake do a bunch of our heavy lifting, or never mind, they're not going to help out. How am I taking so much damage? I do have -8 thrown in there from the corrosion, so maybe, just maybe, that's a bit of an indicator of the problem. One try only, except if you die before experience level 5, then you get a second chance. Oh, nice. A built-in mulligan rule is very fair if you get just a very unfortunate start. It's been a long while since we've been unlucky enough to, like, spawn in and immediately have a death-defying scenario. Cool. Thank you, Zom. Are these all doors? Do like that a lot. Unfortunately, we're just going to be running past most of them. We did get the slow off the Chaos Brand, so that is fantastic. And not too shabby here today so far. Oh my gosh, some unplanned fireballs as well. I mean, if this keeps up, we're going to be flying into the wind of everything that people generally feel and believe about our one true god here. Decided to just keep fighting through this. I don't know if it was our best move, but fortunately it all kind of shakes out in a positive light there. And that is fantastic. Well, let's finish off the last little bit of this floor. It's funny, I picked Zom. I went into this kind of knowing the stakes, and yet I'm still slightly thrown off by some of the events that have been thrown our way here. +4 Dire Flail. Maybe I should have taken a look at your weapons before jumping immediately into combat, Edmund, but hey, all's well that ends well. No issues. Oh, Roga, it's like you're actually trying to fight against my horrible game instincts. But I do appreciate that. I should definitely read my ID scrolls here. You know, I'm gonna, for now, take my goblin allies a little bit further, you know, if they'll have me, which did seem to be the case. Should also check out, we got another dagger here. I will be picking up a dagger of speed, so this is where we can get a little bit creative with our Coglin. Specifically, if we put a dagger of speed in our offhand, it kind of helps increase the speed of our main hand attack as well. So if we can get a really solid weapon in our main hand now, then we're definitely cooking with gas. I mean, we could even take a quick look, I guess, at the idea of switching out the Falchion, because we have damage rating of 12, chaos, you know, who knows what we're going to get out of that. We could instead maybe have the damage for a lot more speed. So here's what we check out. Attack delay is 0.7 currently. If I swap this out to where the dagger of speed, damage goes down, attack delay also gets quite a bit faster. At 0.5, the electric brand might actually do some solid work. I could even go to poison and just aim to, you know, very quickly get a few hits off and get those stacks. Well, stacking, for lack of a better word. Maybe we try that out. Don't know how I feel. But we will, of course, read some scrolls as well. You know, while we're at it here. I mean, curing right off the bat is fantastic. Curing and heal wounds being our stacks of 4, you just love to see it. Oh, you know, let's see what our god gift was. Scroll of Silence. Don't know if you were trying to hint at something there, Zom. I am a little bit of a chatty Cathy at the end of the day, so you wouldn't be the first person that asked me to zip up. But let's throw in the chainmail again, just kind of maxing our AC as our main source of defense at the moment here. And ooh, should also pick up that pair of gloves without a doubt. Fantastic. And with that, we're kind of fully kitted out nice and early on here. I mean, I'll mark the Scroll of Revelation. That's something that I'm likely to just forget as we continue forward. Let's buy all of these scrolls while they're cheap. Might as well. For all we know, one of them is acquirement, and we're going to be just rolling in the good fortune moving forward. Roar of Battle, I would definitely like to check out. I'm going to switch into some heavy plate armor first, though. Well, that's not especially useful. We could wait till we get a message. Still saying very distant, so that means that I might read a Scroll of Revelation. I do just want to try to give some insurance that we gain access to the Bailey here. Always a pretty fantastic way to potentially jumpstart your run into something greater. So let us try to head this way again. Zom, if you could be so kind as to let me just scoot on by. No teleports this time around, please and thank you. No pressure though, of course, whatever you think is best. Far be it for me to believe that I have any real omniscience or omnipotence here. You are the boss, as it were. But let's grab everything. We're still looking good for inventory space, so we can just jump straight in. Ogres with polearms? Interesting. Well, Spriggan, also a pretty big issue for us here. Yikes. I mean, I might just die trying to leave even. Alternatively, I don't have poison resistance, otherwise we could do some fancy stuff with the poison scrolls. I mean, I would like to try and get through here. Unfortunately, 3 polearm ogres and a Spriggan, maybe not our optimal guides through this difficult time in our lives. So do we wish to push it? I mean, I do. Lord knows I do. So with that in mind, Scrolls of Butterfly. Try to get some of these kiddos. Thank you, Zom. Backed off is what I was going to say, but then fortunately Zom decided to come in with some living spells and give some assistance. Smelling yet another stupid death coming. I mean, probably not wrong, but there's only one way to find out. It's at least what I tell myself. You know, synergizes with the kind of chaotic way that I play the game. So Poison Scroll, I think, is still potentially my best option. I want some of these butterflies to go down, maybe? Oh, should I try to capitalize on the confusion? Think so. Still could die. Do it. The poison, I think, will do a lot of the trick there. We'll back off. Ooh, and then a Spriggan comes at us again. Hey, my friend, 20 damage with your spear. Unfortunately, we don't have any good wands for this. 33% chance. Hit you with a net. I'll try for it. Okay, and we get our net back. Not the end of the world. You feel like some of the Baileys are just impossible with a melee build? No kidding. If we at least had a wand or something to kind of throw into the mix here and assist, that would potentially be a difference maker. Fire Dragon Scales and a +2 heavy quarterstaff. So you're going to be hitting like a truck. 34 max damage. Nothing to sneeze at. Let's throw a net. Okay, I dropped it at their feet that time, or threw it at their feet, so that there's some potential did we just retry grabbing that son of a gun? Or we get more Force Lances. Okay. Come on, stick around. I'm taking a risk by not healing, but I really want my Force Lance spells. Or not, that's fine too. Well, we'll pick up all the loot here. Unfortunately, nothing too game-changing immediately availing itself, but could see that change. Oof. We have good poison on you. It's my best bet to just drink a heal wounds and hope that keeps us even. Or do I need to reach into my pocket for another butterfly scroll? Unfortunately, the butterflies aren't perfect because spit acid, I believe, is piercing. Maybe it's not, though. It's not an acid bolt, after all. Let's play it safe. I kind of want to keep those butterflies for the future, but it is what it is. So we aim to kill you. Fantastic. There was a two-headed ogre here the whole time? Why didn't you tell me, dungeon? I mean, this is probably a runaway type beat. But again, the little voice in the back of my head that I generally do and should not listen to. But maybe, just maybe. But this is a decent spot because I can retreat fairly straightforwardly, if not guaranteed safety, then at the very least some modicum of success. I mean, those do technically protect me. So let's wait out the poison. I'm going to be locked in here, though. Looks like they're going to get that plant taken care of a little bit more expediently than we otherwise might have wished. So, with that in mind, is there any path here that gets me what I need? That's it. Unfortunately, doesn't quite work out. Geez, after all this, are we still gonna meet an inevitable end, or what feels like it at least? I have no more poison darts. I could just read a teleport, I guess, and hope that it procs. Otherwise, we just chug heal wounds in this household, apparently. I mean, I still am tempted to go back in there because I feel like we almost got the kill. Did not expect a Spriggan to also be present. I mean, the fireball almost does the trick. Okay. Go. Zom, I need you to chill. Please and thank you. 77% chance. Unfortunately, does not go through. Again, I should just leave. Let the record state this is where we just leave and we come back another time. Okay. Quickly get in while the net's up. Don't know if it was worth it. I mean, we did get our net back. Zom. I have to just run here, I think. Fortunately, the Bogarts aren't an issue. Oh, but the demon is. I mean, you're not immune to poison. Unfortunately, neither am I, so it's not really a great option. I think where this might have to end is we waste our final net, and then we run for the hills. I didn't miss anything or leave anything on the floor here that I would have liked, right? Ooh, the fire dragon scales might have been an interesting option to pick up. Well, let's see. Summons are gone. Summons are gone. I'm gonna trust you on this one, Zom, and I would appreciate it. You could reward that faith, trust, and pixie dust with a little bit of assistance of your own. Grab this, though. Let's pick up our poison darts. Get the heck out of here before we have more things thrown our way, shall we? Oh, the life of a Zom follower is one of fickleness indeed. Could grab the longsword. It's not a bad option. I should also check in on our skills. Looks like we're just about at having long blades where we'd like it to be sitting for the moment here. We'll just finish off this floor. Hopefully nothing too eventful, nothing too exciting, and that's perfect.